Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch our video with a little more detail on our product notifications for NetSuite. I'm Matt Burke. I run marketing programs for SaaS in a Box, the developer of notifications for NetSuite, and I'm here with David Williams, co-founder and technical director, who will be providing a demo in the middle. So to start off, what do we do? Our software automates communications workflow in NetSuite. It complements NetSuite's standard notifications functionality by enabling notifications to be sent to individuals beyond the primary contact in a NetSuite record. We enable those communications to an unlimited number of contacts, not just the one primary contact, and messages can also be sent from any contact. Very flexible platform. On top of that, we automate those communications and we customize them. They can be triggered by an event in NetSuite or a scheduled date and time, and the content of each message is customized in real time based on any searchable field in NetSuite. Before we move on, I want to talk about why this is valuable to NetSuite users, how it can help. And we think for 3 reasons. First, it gets the right message to the right person at the right time. The primary contact is likely not always the right contact. Invoices should go to accounting, shipping information to distribution. Notifications for NetSuite helps that message get to the right person. It doesn't get lost. The second reason it's helpful is time and cost savings. The alternative to using notifications for NetSuite is to send notifications manually, which is time-consuming, expensive, and not always reliable. And the third reason to use notifications for NetSuite is accuracy. So each message is customized in real time based on NetSuite data. So if NetSuite is up to date, then the message is accurate. No one sends the wrong information, and no one forgets to send the message. And on the next slide, I'm just going to give you a little background on the company and this product. So notifications for NetSuite is developed by SaaS in a Box, as I mentioned earlier. And SaaS in a Box is a team of NetSuite specialists who have been building NetSuite apps for more than 20 years collectively. And what that means is we know how to make things work correctly in NetSuite and things just don't break. We built this initially to solve one NetSuite user's challenge, but we found that others found value in it as well. So we productized it, we added some new features, and we introduced the latest version in late 2016. Customers could do this in another way. They could cobble something together outside of NetSuite, but it would be very hard to do. And one of the main characteristics of notifications for NetSuite is that it's very easy to use. You set it up once, the program does everything else. It customizes every communication in real time, every time. And it's fully One World compatible. So that means you can send notifications to multiple contacts at subsidiaries. And this final bullet, we've got a small but growing customer base, a very happy customer base. And this means no hassles, no headaches. And on the next slide, I'm going to talk about an application, a real world application that our customers use. And the applications are broad. We work across all business functions and verticals. Customers usually start with one application and quickly think of other ways to use this. But since I don't want to spend too much time on this, I'm going to focus on 2 of the most popular applications. One's in accounting and back office. And there's several applications in accounting and back office alone, but the one I'm going to concentrate on is accounts receivable. So helping a company get paid faster. Automating, and what we do in this application is we automate communications directly to the people that pay the bills. So invoice notifications, reminders, overdue notices. All of those messages are customized based on data in NetSuite. And the message is preset using simple scripts and notifications for NetSuite that determine what the message will say. So if the record indicates that the invoice was paid, no message is sent. If the invoice is due soon, maybe reminders. If it's overdue, an overdue notice goes out, and the invoice can be attached. The invoice can be attached to any of those, and each one is also branded. So these are simple but important communications that can have an impact on a company's bottom line. Here we have a quote on this slide from Pele Imports. It's a small company. They've told us they save the equivalent of a full-time person's time, and significantly increase cash flow. And for less than a $5,000 investment, that's a really good ROI. And on the next application, the next slide, I'm going to talk about another popular application, and that's sales order processing. And David's going to actually demonstrate this application in a minute. So sales order processing can be a complex, lengthy process, but it's one that needs to be moved along, and that's something that our software does very easily. So for instance, if a PO is needed, a purchase order is needed, it might kick off one workflow, or if a purchase order is not required, another workflow. And through the workflow, there could be many different people involved, internally and at the customer. So accounting, purchasing, inventory, order approval, distribution, there can be a lot of touch points, and notification keeps this process moving. And it can even send reminders if the process stalls. So once a step in a process is complete, the workflow moves to the next. And in the next the slide, just this short video is to make a point that the applications are really unlimited, as I mentioned before. So imagine if all of your order, shipping, and tracking notifications were automated for your NetSuite powered e-commerce site. Or imagine if all sales leads were followed up on automatically and nurtured automatically. Or imagine if all of your shipping and receiving notifications were automated between customers, fulfillment suppliers, and warehouse managers. These are just a few of the examples of how we can make a business's operations much more efficient and much more accurate. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to David for a quick demo.
Thanks very much, Matt. So my name's David Williams. I'm just going to show one of the one workflow, one sort of A to Z of how this thing can work and how it can actually improve your business. The notifications can run on almost any NetSuite record. We can have the product generate a virtually unlimited number of notifications per record. They can go to various recipients. They can be sent by various senders. And it's all based on predefined rules. In this particular instance, in this particular NetSuite account, we have some rules already set up that run against a sales order record. As Matt was saying, the sales order processing can touch a lot of different people. There's a lot of different stages where something can go wrong, and our product helps to keep things on the right track, so to speak. So in this account, one of the rules that's set up is that any sales order that's $10,000 or greater requires a purchase order. And in order to make that happen, when this sales order was first generated, we didn't have a purchase order. So if we have a look down at the related notifications tab, we can see a full history of all the notifications that have been generated and sent with regard to this particular sales order. And so because when we first generated the order, and it was over $10,000, because there was no purchase order number entered, a notification was generated and sent to someone named Tammy Lux, who's a contact of Thunder Electronics, to request one. So that's just a very polite email that goes out to Tammy and says, "Thank you very much for your order. May we please have a purchase order number?" So once that notification was replied to and the purchase order number was entered on the sales order, it then triggered the next step in this workflow in this particular account. And the next step was to send this sales order for approval, for internal approval within the company. And so in this particular case, it went to the sales rep supervisor, a message asking someone named Dennis Strickland, who's an employee, for approval of the sales order. So he got that message in his inbox, and after a period of time, hopefully quite short amount of time, he comes back and approves the order. Once that's done, it then triggers the next stage in the process. And the next stage in the process is actually for multiple different notifications to be generated and sent out to various different people. We can see that 2 of the same notification was sent in this particular case, both to the customer, or actually to contacts of the customer. Tammy Lux again, there's that same name again, and Richard Sterling. So messages have gone out to each of them to say, thank you very much for your order. It's been approved, and the order delivery date is estimated to be such and such. As Matt was saying, the message is fully customizable. So, and it's based on the data inside the NetSuite record, inside the NetSuite database. So it's always accurate. At the same time, a message has gone to the sales rep, Diana Ford. So Diana is the sales rep on this transaction, which is why she was chosen as the recipient. Obviously, sales reps have a keen interest in knowing when their orders are ready and approved for processing. So that message has gone out to Diana Ford. And then finally, we have another notification that's gone out to the warehouse manager to let them know to begin the process of getting ready to pack and ship the order. In this particular case, it's gone to someone named Teresa Brubaker. And the reason why Teresa was chosen is because she's actually noted as the supervisor of this, in this particular case, the Indianapolis location, which is the location from which this sales order is going to be processed. Notifications can go to virtually any entity record in NetSuite. So they can go to customers, vendors, partners, or their contacts, or they can go to employees, which is I've already just briefly discussed. Each entity can be subscribed to unlimited notification types. So on the notifications tab on an entity record, we have a list of the notifications that that particular entity is subscribed to. In this particular case, Tammy Lux is the contact of Thunder Electronics. She's been subscribed to the sales order approved notification and also to the PO request. And that's because she's the accounts payable clerk. And we can also see the full history of notifications on an individual entity. So all the notifications that have been created and sent for that particular person or company. The last thing I just wanted to briefly show is the notification record itself. So we have a record of all of the information related to a notification, who it's gone to, what it's about, what time and date it was sent, its current status, and a link to the record that it was based on. And we can also see the full message history. So it is possible to resend a notification just by clicking a button. But what I really wanted to show is what the notification looks like. Now, of course, the content of the email is completely customizable, as Matt and I have already mentioned. The content is generated using standard NetSuite scriptable templates. So there's nothing too difficult to understand or learn in creating those. As you can see, they can include detailed branding, and I'm not a graphic designer, but You can see the point that I'm trying to make. And finally, they're accurate because they are based on the information that is found within NetSuite. We can see that this email message went out with an estimated shipping date, the total of the order. We can see the order number and the delivery address on this particular notification. That's pretty much all I had for this presentation. So I'm just going to turn the remainder of the presentation over to Matt, and he can finish off.
Thanks, David. I'm going to quickly talk about a few things. Pricing is the first thing. So notifications for NetSuite is very simple pricing. It's priced annually, billed monthly, and it's based on the number of NetSuite users that the company has. As we mentioned before, it's not difficult to get a very impactful ROI with this product. We include setup and training with this pricing, so we want to make sure you're successful. We help you with setting up the scripts and setting up the emails, and we're always there to help. And in addition, if you sign up as a first-time customer, we give 3 months of free notifications for NetSuite. And finally, I wanted to talk about, just summarize why buy notifications for NetSuite. First of all, it saves time and money. Quite simply, it automates work that people are doing. So it saves time and money there. It improves results and accuracy. Nothing gets forgotten or falls through the cracks. And of course, we'll say it again, the message is always accurate because it's based on the data that's in NetSuite. Conservatively, 10x ROI. So it's not hard to realize that ROI and an outsized return with any application. 100% retention rate. Our small but growing customer base, very happy, and they keep renewing. And the last one is that we completely guarantee your satisfaction. We want our customers to remain happy. We want to continue to have no churn. And so that's why notifications for NetSuite. And on the last slide, we just want to provide our contact so you can get in touch. We will do a live demonstration anytime. We'll answer questions anytime. And we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you for taking the time.